The scream didn't echo, it was swallowed. In the quiet suburbs of New Haven, where porch lights glowed like promises and lawns were clipped with surgical precision, terror should have had no address. Yet at 2:17 a.m., Officer Dana Ricks stood over a slick marble floor in a house worth more than her entire career, staring at a corpse that looked nothing like a burglary gone wrong. This wasn't theft. This was a message. Detective Marcus Hale arrived before sunrise, his unmarked Dodge Charger crunching over the gravel driveway of 14 Briar Ridge Lane. The house loomed like a museum display, floor-to-ceiling windows, stainless steel edges, and the kind of silence that made guilt feel louder. 2 squad cars sat crooked across the circular drive. Amber lights spun lazily, coloring the manicured hedges with artificial warmth. Marcus flashed his badge at the uniform blocking the entrance. "Detective Hale, Major Crimes," he said. Officer Dana Ricks, mid-30s, sharp posture, trying hard not to look rattled, nodded and led him through the double doors. Inside, the foyer smelled faintly of bleach and blood, an uneasy combination. The body lay in the open concept living room, half draped across a glass coffee table that had cracked under the weight. Marcus took one look and exhaled slowly. Male, mid-40s, athletic build, expensive watch still on his wrist. A single stab wound under the left clavicle, deliberate and clean, no defensive marks, no signs of struggle. Name, Marcus asked. Ricks flipped through her notepad. Ethan Carver, 45, venture capitalist, lives here alone, divorced, no kids, housekeeper found him when she came in at 5. Marcus knelt, studying the wound. Housekeeper touch anything. She swears she didn't go near him. Called 911 from outside. Cameras were off when our techs arrived. Power to the security system was manually cut. Marcus straightened up, eyes narrowing. Someone knew what they were doing. He scanned the room. Nothing overturned. No drawers pulled. Not even a broken vase. The only disorder was the dead man and the spiderweb crack beneath him. Ricks hesitated before speaking again. "There's something else." She handed over a small evidence bag. Inside was a folded piece of ivory stationery with a single sentence written in black ink. "You were warned." Marcus stared at it without blinking. Where was this? Tucked under his hand, like the killer wanted it found. Housekeeper Sophia Morel sat on a bar stool in the kitchen, clutching a mug of untouched tea. Her eyes were red, but her voice steady when Marcus approached. "Ms. Morels, how long have you worked for Mr. Carver?" he asked. 6 years, she replied, accent soft but controlled. "I clean Mondays and Wednesdays, sometimes Fridays." He was polite, quiet. "Did he mention threats, problems, business issues?" She shook her head. "No, but last week he had visitors, 2 men. They came at night after I left. I saw them leaving once. Black SUV, no plates." Marcus exchanged a look with Ricks. "You recognize them?" "No, but Mr. Carver." He looked nervous when I asked if everything was okay. Marcus thanked her and stepped aside to take in the scene again. The quiet was oppressive. Outside, daybreak was smearing orange light over the glass walls. The lead crime tech approached. "Detective, the cut security feed suggests someone bypassed the main console. No forced entry." "So Carver let them in," Marcus muttered, "or they already had access." As he walked toward the back hallway, something caught his eye. A faint outline on the hardwood near the patio doors. A partial boot print, angled toward the exit. He crouched. "Rick's bag encast this. Size looks like 11, maybe 12. She nodded and shouted for a tech. Marcus stood, hands on his hips. This wasn't impulsive. This was surgical. Ricks frowned. "Think it's personal?" Marcus glanced toward the folded note in the evidence bag. "No," he said quietly. "I think it's just the beginning." By 8:30 a.m., the sun had burned away the fog that clung to Briar Ridge Lane. The neighborhood was awake now. Dog walkers staring from across the street, a jogger slowing to snap a photo, neighbors whispering behind their hedges. They were pretending to be curious, but Marcus knew fear when it dressed itself as interest. Inside, the forensic team was wrapping up. Ethan Carver's body had been removed, the glass table tagged, and the ivory note logged as evidence. Marcus stood by the panoramic window, hands in his coat pockets, watching the world outside pretend everything was normal. Detective Ricks approached with a tablet. Preliminary pull from Carver's phone is back. Last call was at 11:42 last night. Unlisted number, no message. Trace it. Marcus said, already flagged with cybercrimes. Could take a while if it's a burner. Before Marcus could reply, the front door opened and Captain Reynolds stepped in, looking like he hadn't slept since the Clinton administration. Tall, graying, and permanently irritated, Reynolds took one look around the pristine crime scene and sighed. Press is circling like vultures, he said. We're going to need something before noon, or they'll start inventing theories. Marcus didn't turn. Let them. For once, maybe the rumors will scare the right people. Reynolds folded his arms. You think this is connected to his business? Nothing about this feels domestic or random, Marcus said. Security feed cut manually. Killer knew the layout. No sign of theft. And the message? Marcus nodded. You were warned. That means history. Reynolds rubbed his forehead. Then dig up his history before CNN does. 2 hours later, Marcus was seated in a glass-walled conference room at the precinct, staring at a digital file on Ethan Carver's life. A venture capitalist with a clean public image, several high-profit acquisitions, and a handful of lawsuits swept quietly under the rug. Nothing unusual for a man of his station, on paper. Ricks entered carrying 2 coffees and a folder. Marcus took one, flipped open the file. We've got something, she said. Patrol pulled plate scans from a 3-block radius between midnight and 4. One vehicle stands out. A black Chevrolet Suburban with no front plate, only a rear tag. Tag came back to a shell company in Delaware. Marcus arched a brow. Let me guess, a dead end with a lawyer on speed dial. Pretty much, but there's better. She set a photo on the table. Security camera from a streetlight picked up a figure leaving the area at 2:20, close enough to the estimated time of death. The photo was grainy, but clear enough to make out a tall man in a dark windbreaker, head down, baseball cap pulled low. He was walking, not running, toward the corner where the Suburban had been spotted. Marcus studied the posture, confident, unhurried. Get this enhanced, he said. Face, shoes, gait, the works, already requested, and the housekeeper's statement, the 2 men she saw, anything matching this guy's height or build. She only caught shadows and the SUV, but she mentioned one had a limp. Marcus tapped the photo. This one strides clean, so maybe not him, maybe the other. Ricks hesitated. There's something else. CSU lifted a partial boot print from the hardwood by the patio doors. Tread pattern is uncommon. If we get lucky, it's either custom or tied to a brand used by contractors or security personnel. Marcus leaned back, connecting invisible threads. What about his ex-wife? Lives in Chicago, remarried, out of state until tomorrow. No known disputes. She sounded shocked. What about finances? His accounts look normal. No large withdrawals, but she flipped to the last page. There's a sealed file in his digital records, encrypted. Our tech guys are trying to crack it. Reynolds appeared in the doorway, folding his arms. Media wants a briefing at 1. I'd love to say we're not completely blind. Marcus stood, collecting the folder. Tell them we're reviewing evidence and won't comment further. Reynolds started to argue, then thought better of it and walked away. Rick smirked. He's going to explode later. He'll survive, Marcus said. Carver didn't die over a lover's quarrel. Someone sent a message, and people who send messages rarely stop at one. As they exited the room, Marcus's phone buzzed. An unknown number. He answered. A voice, unfamiliar, low, distorted, spoke 3 words before the line went dead. You're already late. Marcus stared at the phone, jaw tightening. Ricks raised a brow. Something wrong. He slid the phone into his coat. Get the team ready. This just got bigger. By nightfall, the station felt smaller. Every hallway held tension. Every phone call sounded like a countdown. Detective Marcus Hale stood in the tech lab, staring at a monitor displaying the encrypted file recovered from Ethan Carver's digital records. A young analyst named Rowan typed furiously, code reflecting in his glasses. 10 more seconds, Rowan muttered. Whoever locked this knew their way around encryption. Just open it, Marcus said. With a final keystroke, the file decrypted, revealing a single folder labeled Sethis. Rix leaned in. What the hell is Sethis? Rowan opened it. Documents, scans, contracts, offshore ledgers, and a list of names. Ethan Carver was second. Marcus read the first name aloud. Daniel York. Isn't he a federal judge? Rix finished, eyes widening. Retired last year in third name, Marcus asked. Rowan scrolled. Victor Lansing. Rix froze. The investment attorney, the one who got indicted but walked. Marcus flipped through the files. Each name had a subfull. Payments, correspondence, confidential contacts. It wasn't business, it was leverage. Carver hadn't just gotten rich. He'd kept records on everyone who helped him stay untouchable. Someone had found out. Before they could process further, Captain Reynolds burst in. We've got another situation. They found Daniel York. Dead? Marcus asked. Barely. Reynolds said, home invasion, forced entry, security cameras cut. Same style as Carver. He's in surgery now. Critical. Marcus exchanged a look with Rix. Same killer, same message, except this time, Reynolds said they didn't leave a note. 1 hour later, Marcus and Rix stood outside York's gated property in Westport. The scene buzzed with uniforms and firelight from passing ambulances. The house looked gutted, doors splintered, blood smeared across polished floors. A paramedic spoke to Rix. York was conscious for maybe 30 seconds when we got there. Tried to say something. What? She asked. The medic hesitated. He said, it's too late for him, and too late for me. Marcus scanned the yard. Killer didn't finish him. Either they were interrupted or they got what they came for. Or they wanted a survivor. Rix added. Detective Owens from Westport PD walked over. We found this near the back door. He held up an evidence bag. Inside was a torn fragment of paper. Same ivory texture, same ink. Only 2 words this time, not enough. Marcus exhaled sharply. They're accelerating. Back at the precinct, night had swallowed the city. Marcus paced in the conference room. The file on the Sethis group spread across the table. Rix pointed to the list of names. There are 8 total, 4 still in public office, 2 retired, 1 unaccounted for, and Carver. They weren't partners. They were conspirators covering each other. Someone's dismantling them, Marcus said. Not for justice, for retribution. Rix nodded toward the encrypted ledger. Look at the amounts, millions, offshore transfers, payoffs for rulings, contracts, settlements. Carver was the glue. Marcus's phone buzzed. An update from CSU. Boot print match, a tactical brand used by private security and military contractors, model discontinued 5 years ago, sold to only 3 companies in the state. Rix whistled. That narrows it down. We can pull employee rosters. Marcus didn't answer. He was staring at something else in the file, an email chain from 2 months ago. Carver threatening to expose someone named Lansing unless he complied with a distribution plan. Rix followed his gaze. You think Lansing hired the hitter, or someone else Lansing tried to threaten first? Marcus said. Desperate men leave trails. A knock at the door interrupted them. Rowan stepped in, uneasy. The unknown number that called you earlier. We traced it to a relay bouncing through 5 states, but we found the original signal. It pinged off a private relay tower registered to Redmount Holdings. Rix frowned. What's that? Marcus didn't blink. One of the shell companies in the Sethis ledger. Before anyone spoke again, a notification popped up on Rowan's screen. A new message had been inserted into the decrypted Sethis folder, remotely. No sender, no traceable origin, just a file name. You're still late. PDF Rowan opened it. A photo filled the screen. A man tied to a chair in a dimly lit room, bruised, gagged, eyes open. Rix whispered, "Who is that?" Rowan zoomed in. Marcus answered, "Victor Lansing." Below the image were 3 words typed in stark black, You don't choose, and under that, a timestamp, 12 hours. For a long moment, nobody spoke. Marcus closed the laptop slowly. "This isn't a clean-up," he said. "It's a purge. Rick's swallowed, so who sent the message?" Marcus looked at the cracked photo of the man in the windbreaker again. "The dead don't warn the living," he said. "But whoever's behind this, they're not done talking." Reynolds stepped into the doorway just as Marcus turned. "Get a task force started," Marcus said. "This isn't one murder anymore. It's a clock." "And what exactly are we telling the Bureau?" Reynolds asked. Marcus met his eyes. "Tell them the storm already started. We're just trying not to drown. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching."